guys, so we are in Unit 2. We're talking about Lesson 4, Ethics in Agriculture and Natural Resources. We're still talking about our leadership ethics and work habits that, and ethics are very important, and these are also going to contribute to you being a good employee, good teammate, good partner, good everything if you have good ethics. So ethics, if you don't know, and that's a vocab word, is a code of moral conduct or right or wrong that guides your actions. So having good ethics would be knowing what is right and what is wrong, or what you think is right and what you think is wrong. Having a high standard means you make responsible choices, even when others don't see you. So that's character. That's integrity. Integrity is doing something right, even though others may not be watching. So a lot of you are coming from public school where you saw a lot of fights, or maybe you were in fights. Reflect on those. What started those fights? Were they very ethical? Just think about those to yourself. And then we've got 3 scenarios that are common, everyday ethical issues that can apply in ag. So the first one, you're working for a small business. You fill out your own timesheet and are paid hourly, but you often work quite early in the morning before anyone else is there. Do you report the hours you worked honestly, or do you fudge the numbers? So that's something to think about. To have high ethics would be to only put down the hours that you work. To have really low morals or ethics would be to inflate those numbers so that you're getting paid for more than what you actually worked. Scenario 2. You're getting behind on a project because you don't really understand something. Your boss asks what's going on. You can tell the truth and ask for help, or say it was your coworker's fault. What do? So do you own up and take responsibility? That would be high ethics. Blaming a coworker would be low ethics. And then scenario 3. A customer asks if the cattle are grass-fed. Grass-fed beef brings higher prices than grain. Do you tell the truth, admit that your cattle are grain-fed, or do you claim they're grass-fed and charge higher prices? So again, these are internally what your conscience, all of that has to do with ethics. What's the right thing to do? Doing the right thing. And that's important not just in agriculture, in everything. But if we have people that don't follow ethics, then just like the grain and grass-fed, how do you believe what you're getting? So it's really hard to get everything. Yes, you see my dog right there. That's Ruby. She is chasing a cricket under the turf right now. So just ignore her. So ethics, it really comes down to you and to telling the truth. So they give 3 case studies, and they're going to talk about what's ethical, what's right or wrong, what should be done. So the first one's about pork. A number of ag-gag laws. So here's a vocab word. Those are laws designed to limit the ability of individuals to share information about ag abuses and investigate failures to comply with ag state and federal laws. These laws have not passed. So these are to keep people from basically spreading information about the ag industry. So an example of issues that an ag law would keep hidden. In 2014, they discovered animal abuse in violation of state laws in Iron Maiden pork production. They impacted the welfare of animals and the safety of the food supply. Animals were dead or dying, and dead animals were fed to breeding stock. That's very clear violations. If these laws passed, they would go underreported, and we would never know. It's not good for animals, it's not good for the food supply, it's not good for the ag workers. So in terms of workplace, you should separate personal ethics from a broader ethical perspective. For instance, if you're a vegetarian, you probably shouldn't work on a beef farm. You'll likely not feel good about your choice because it's opposed to your ethics. You might, however, feel good about working on an organic vegetable farm. So choose employers that you feel comfortable with and activities you feel comfortable with. So the second one is about entomologists, and that's a scientist who specializes in insects. They work for the USDA, filed an official whistleblower complaint, and that is an individual who shares information about a violation of laws, standards. They said that the research was suppressed because it showed that the use of a common type of pesticide, neonics, was more harmful than thought. He stated that his research was shown that neonics was responsible for declining monarch butterfly and honeybee populations, which is not good because that's how we get our pollination. Bees are a key part of a pollination cycle. So, what would it be like to be an employee in a situation like this? Would you have the strength to be that whistleblower? Imagine you work in the pork farm. The farm is not complying with regulations. You see that, but you don't want to get fired. What do? Do you do the right thing and tell someone higher up the problems, or do you do the right thing by your boss and just keep working? Same with the insect. So think about to yourself what you would do in that situation. What's ethically the right thing to do? And then the third case study is talking about wildlife. It's talking about the Conservation Reserve Program. It supports the preservation and enhancement of natural resources. Land's voluntarily enrolled. They receive, if you enroll your land in it, you get payments for the land. Lands benefit from reduced soil erosion, water quality, and preserving natural wildlife habitats. Sometimes they're allowed to use lands for feed use. They still receive payments. So they believe that critical feed use is environmentally detrimental to the land and in direct conflict with the goals of the CRP. Critical feed use certainly makes the program more appealing to farmers and ranchers, but it may not lead to reduced soil erosion. So ethical questions can guide the policy issues in agriculture. Policies and regulations designed to protect the environment are crafted to specifically support industry of ag. They may fail to meet the set goals. So another ethical question, you need to think about that. Or is it ethical that they're getting payments to keep this land for the environment, but they're still getting to graze their animals on it? So those are things to think about. Ethics are those hard questions. They're not always easy. It's not always easy to make the right choice, but they're very important in running your day-to-day life. Whether you have a career in agriculture or anything else, just with your family, always stop to think, what is the right thing to do?